10 things I love, here we go. Number 1, it's a BMW. Even though BMW has the reputation it has, I actually really like it. I really wanted an M3 as a kid, and I just thought it's too out of reach, you know? And I know cars depreciate over time, and I was gonna be able to afford one eventually anyway, but still, BMWs are very known for being very pricey, if not in terms of how much you buy one for, how much you spend to maintain them. I definitely agree with that sentiment, and I'm very privileged to be in the position that I'm in now to be able to handle it. But I like being able to say, hey, I own a BMW. Basically, I can't complain about driving a BMW. Number 2, it's turbocharged. I absolutely love forced induction. My brother and I will speak to that all day. Ever since we were kids, we're like, oh yeah, love turbochargers. And honestly, good power with natural good power with natural aspiration, those are very good engines. However, I'm a very big fan of turbochargers in particular. One of my other dream cars, the Eclipse GSX, it has a turbocharger itself, turbocharged all-wheel drive, and it gives you a good balance of power and traction. Not to mention, it makes some really fun sounds. 3 is automation. As much as I complain about how automated cars are becoming, I really can't deny how convenient it has come to be. You could argue that it's a distraction and a very large temptation to be inside of basically a massive vehicular weapon. However, it's pretty nice that the car will tell me exactly what it needs, especially with the iDrive system. It'll give me a message. It'll be like, hey, your tire pressure is low, or hey, your brakes are getting worn down. I feel spoiled, and I know more of the recent years of cars in general have those sorts of features, but we're graced by technology. It's really come a long way, and I do appreciate it. Number 4, my XI has all-wheel drive. That's honestly a positive and a negative, because all-wheel drive comes with a whole set of maintenance of its own. That's absolutely not fun either, but I love the traction aspect. Rear-wheel drive cars, they're fun, they're a blast. However, I've only owned front-wheel drive before, and it's not necessarily that I'm scared of driving rear-wheel drive cars, especially with as well built as we have cars today. I feel like front-wheel drive is definitely a very safe drivetrain. I'm pretty comfortable with front-wheel drive. I think it's nice and safe. You're less likely to fly off the road from your wheels kicking out from behind you. It's better to have the torque coming from the front. And with all-wheel drive, you get all wheels spinning, and I guess that could be a good thing or a bad thing in itself, but you definitely get traction. It hooks. Obviously, it always hooks, and that's pretty nice. You can't get it sideways, and if you do, you're probably in a less than ideal situation, but honestly, I don't personally feel like I'm missing that much. I really do like the all-wheel drive platform. Number 5, it's spacious. I really need people to stop coming back here because I'm trying to shamelessly film a video, but I can't just be like, oh, I don't care. I don't care about the people walking around laughing at me. I have only owned compact cars before this, but I would still compare this car to being like a boat. It's pretty wide. The interior's pretty great. That would definitely go on my happy about list. But yeah, it's very spacious. You can fit people in here. My siblings aren't super thrilled about being stuffed in the back, but it's got some good trunk space too. Number 6, you can consider it the poor man's M3. As a kid, I always wanted an M3, and I loved the E92 M3, but I didn't really see it as ever being attainable. It's not necessarily unattainable altogether, but when I learned about the car that looks exactly like it, that's turbocharged, can make more power than it, in my case has all-wheel drive. Oh, and also it costs a fraction of what the M3 costs to find a good M3. Number 7, it looks average. I'd consider it a sleeper. A lot of people think it looks kind of like a dad car. Personally, I'd have to agree with them to an extent, but once you personalize these things, try to make them look more sporty, like in my case, I blacked out the chrome, and that's what a lot of people do, especially if you open up the exhaust a bit. Yeah, it's definitely not going to seem like just a little commuter Another thing I love is the sound, and that's of two things. One, the sound system in here is amazing. I don't know if I got a premium package or something, but I love the speakers in this car. A lot of people have to get aftermarket speakers to be able to really enjoy music in their car. This one, I don't know if there's an aftermarket set of speakers that I could put in that would be better than what came stock. And I'm lucky, like I'm at 125,000 miles and they're still working. I can't complain about that. That, and I like the natural sound of the engine. I recently deleted the muffler from the exhaust system, and that was kind of bittersweet because I did want it to be a little louder, and I do like the volume it's at. However, I do have a lot of drone. I have an idea in mind as to what I'm gonna do with the exhaust. We'll see how that manifests. Yeah, I had to get driving because I was tired of people just passing me by, and it was starting to be the same people. Number 9 is how moddable and how tunable the car is. These things can hold horsepower. And one of the things that people love to do is put a big turbo on it and substitute for the twin turbos that come stock. I personally don't care quite as much about power as I do about reliability. But hey, I won't mind putting a tune on this car and seeing what it does for me. And number 10, I can drive with the AC on and it won't kill my power. Seriously, the 4-banger struggle. You turn on your air conditioning and you suffer a loss of power to your engine. It's so weird and it sucks. It's kind of comical. But now I don't have to deal with it because I have a 6-cylinder engine. And the bonus is, I just like it. As a car, it's very solid. It's very comfortable. The reason I was able to give up my previous car for this car, beside it just being updated in general, keeping this car, since it's more modern, it's more comfortable for like my wife and my siblings and whoever else I might have in the car. Less plastic pieces. It is technically still a luxury car, and you can feel that from sitting inside of here. Outside of that, I just love the way it looks. I love the way it drives when it is driving. All around, I mean, I can complain a lot. I was gonna say I can't complain, but I mean, I could find a million things to complain about. But I'll also still sing its praises because this is my favorite car that I've owned, and that's that. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope I may see you come back here soon. Bye. I will say, if you're looking to buy a Beamer, definitely listen to the people around you. And there are plenty of people who have negative things to say, and there are people who have very positive things to say. I would listen to both because it's a matter of knowing what you're getting into. It's knowing your priorities and what you like to be doing, where you'd like to be spending your time and your money and your energy. Personally, in my case, I like the decision I've made. If my priorities changed and things were to get more serious, I definitely have to give it up. But in the meantime, I mean, obviously I'm having a blast.